You can root 5 machines. You can escalate to system. You can capture every flag and still fail the OSCP, not because your exploitation was wrong, but because your report was weak. OSCP is not just a hacking exam, it is a professional penetration testing certification. And in the real world, hacking without reporting is useless. Clients do not pay for shells, they pay for documentation. They pay for clarity, they pay for evidence. Module 4 exists for one reason, to teach you how to think like a professional penetration tester, not just an attacker. In this module, we will cover what real penetration testing deliverables look like, why note portability can save or destroy your exam, how professional documentation is structured, how to choose the right note-taking system, and why screenshots can determine whether you pass or fail. Most beginners treat note-taking as optional. Professionals treat it as critical infrastructure. If Module 3 trained your brain, Module 4 trains your discipline. Because in OSCP, exploitation proves skill, but reporting proves professionalism. And professionalism is what gets certified. Module 4, Report Writing for Penetration Testers. Learning Unit, Understanding Note-Taking. In penetration testing, technical skill gets attention, but documentation builds credibility. This learning unit is about something many candidates ignore until it's too late: note-taking. Not casual note-taking, structured, professional, portable documentation. Because in OSCP and in real-world engagements, if you cannot clearly explain what you did, how you did it, and how it can be reproduced, your work has no value. 1. Review the deliverables for penetration testing engagements. Before discussing notes, we must understand deliverables. A penetration test does not end with exploitation, it ends with a report. Professional pen testing deliverables typically include executive summary, scope definition, methodology overview, detailed technical findings, proof of concept, risk impact, remediation recommendations. The executive summary is written for non-technical stakeholders. The technical findings are written for engineers. Your notes must support both. If your notes are scattered, incomplete, or unclear, writing the final report becomes difficult. In OSCP specifically, the report must clearly show the vulnerability, show exploitation steps, include evidence, screenshots, demonstrate privilege escalation, and be reproducible. Your notes are the raw material for that report. Without structured notes, reporting becomes guesswork. 2. Understand the importance of note portability. Note portability means your documentation can be accessed from multiple systems, be backed up safely, be organized logically, be reused later. In a real pen test, you might switch machines, move between environments, or reference old engagements. If your notes are locked in one local file, disorganized folders, or temporary scratch pads, you create risk. During the OSCP exam, note portability becomes critical. Imagine you compromise a system at hour 3. At hour 20, you try to write your report. If your notes are incomplete, mixed with irrelevant commands, missing timestamps, missing screenshots, you waste precious time reconstructing steps. Portability also means clarity. Your notes should be understandable even days later. If you cannot refollow your own steps, the report reviewer cannot either. 3. Identify the general structure of pen testing documentation. Professional documentation is structured, not chaotic. A clean structure might look like this: target overview, IP address, host name, operating system if known. Enumeration, open ports, services detected, version information. Vulnerability identification, misconfiguration observed, weak service, exposed directory. Exploitation steps, commands used, tools executed, payloads generated. Privilege escalation, initial access, escalation vector, proof of higher privilege. Evidence, screenshots, command outputs, flags captured. This structure ensures clarity. It also ensures reproducibility. When writing OSCP reports, exam graders must be able to follow your logic, reproduce the exploit, and confirm privilege escalation. Disorganized notes destroy this clarity. Structured documentation builds professionalism. 4. Choose the right note-taking tool. The tool itself is not as important as consistency. Common approaches include markdown-based note systems, structured digital notebooks, terminal logging tools, or organized folder systems. The key requirements are searchable, easy screenshot embedding, clean formatting, and exportable to report format. Avoid random text files, unnamed screenshots, copy-paste chaos, and mixing multiple formats without structure. Your note system should allow you to document commands clearly, add explanations, insert images directly under relevant steps, and maintain logical hierarchy. The goal is efficiency under pressure. 5. Understand the importance of taking screenshots. Screenshots are proof. In OSCP, screenshots are not optional decoration, they are verification evidence. Strong screenshot discipline includes capturing full terminal window, showing command plus output in the same frame, including proof of user level, who am I or ID, and capturing flag contents clearly. Avoid cropped evidence, missing context, unclear resolution, and screenshots without explanation. Each screenshot must support a claim. If you state privilege escalation achieved, there must be visual evidence showing elevated user, proof of control. Screenshots should be named logically, stored in structured folders, referenced clearly in notes. This prevents confusion during report writing. Core principle of this unit: hacking demonstrates capability, documentation demonstrates professionalism. OSCP evaluates both. Understanding note-taking is not a secondary skill. It is part of the exam, and in real-world pen testing, it is part of your reputation. Learning Unit 2: Structuring Professional Penetration Test Reports. In the previous unit, we discussed note-taking. Now we move one layer above that. Notes are internal. Reports are external. Your notes are for you. Your report is for the client, or in the case of OSCP, for the examiner. The difference between the two is clarity, structure, and audience awareness. 1. Understanding the purpose of a penetration test report. A penetration test report is not a diary. It is not a transcript of commands. It is a professional deliverable. Its purpose is to communicate risk, explain technical impact, demonstrate proof, and recommend remediation. Clients are not paying for screenshots. They are paying for insight. In OSCP, the examiner is not impressed by volume. They are looking for logical flow, clear reproduction steps, and accurate technical explanation. A good report answers 3 questions. What is the vulnerability? How was it exploited? And why does it matter? If your report does not answer these clearly, it is incomplete. 2. Executive summary versus technical findings. Professional reports typically begin with an executive summary. The executive summary avoids technical jargon, explains impact in business terms, summarizes risk level, and highlights overall security posture. In OSCP, you may not need a full corporate-style executive summary, but understanding the concept is important, because in real engagements, executives do not read shell commands, they read risk statements. Technical findings, on the other hand, are detailed. They include step-by-step exploitation, tools used, output evidence, impact explanation, and remediation suggestions. Understanding this separation helps you structure your writing properly. 3. Writing clear technical findings. Each vulnerability section in a professional report should follow a consistent format. A clean structure might include title, clear and specific, for example, SMB anonymous access enabled, not SMB issue. Description. Explain what the vulnerability is, avoid excessive jargon. State what was observed, why it is insecure, and what it allows an attacker to do. Proof of concept. Step-by-step reproduction, commands used, parameters, system response. Each step should be logical and sequential. Do not assume the reader knows what you were thinking. Write it so someone else can follow it exactly. Evidence. Insert screenshots directly under relevant steps. Make sure they show command, output, context. Screenshots without explanation are weak. Explanation without screenshots is unverified. Both are required. Impact. Explain consequences. Examples: data exposure, privilege escalation, lateral movement potential. Impact is what makes the vulnerability meaningful. Remediation. Offer practical solutions. For example, disable anonymous access, apply security patch, restrict file permissions. Remediation proves you understand security, not just exploitation. 4. Clarity over complexity. A common mistake in OSCP reports is overcomplicating language. Professional writing is direct, structured, and clear. Avoid overly dramatic language, excessive technical jargon, and long, confusing sentences. Your goal is communication, not intimidation. If a step requires 3 commands, write 3 clear steps. If a vulnerability chain required enumeration first, explain the chain. Do not compress reasoning into a single paragraph. Structure builds trust. 5. Reproducibility as a standard. Reproducibility is critical. An examiner should be able to follow your steps, execute the same commands, and obtain the same result. If a step depends on timing, environmental variables, or assumptions, clarify it. For example, instead of writing "exploit worked," write "using the identified service version, the exploit was executed with the following parameters." Reproducibility demonstrates professionalism. In the real world, poor reproducibility damages credibility. In OSCP, it can affect grading. Common reporting errors. Some frequent errors include missing screenshots, skipping intermediate steps, using vague language, failing to show privilege escalation clearly, and mixing multiple vulnerabilities in one section. Each vulnerability should stand alone. Each section should be self-contained. If the reader must search your report to understand a step, the structure is weak. The core principle of this unit is simple. Exploitation proves access, reporting proves understanding, and understanding is what builds credibility. Next, we go deeper into refining documentation quality and avoiding professional reporting errors. Learning Unit 3, Refining Documentation Quality and Avoiding Professional Errors. At this stage, you understand why note-taking matters, how reports are structured, what professional deliverables look like. Now we go deeper, because writing a report is not just about structure, it is about precision. Small documentation mistakes can weaken credibility, even if your technical exploitation was flawless. This learning unit focuses on refinement. Number 1. Precision in language. Professional reporting requires precise language. Avoid vague statements like, "the system was vulnerable," "we gained access," or "there was a problem with permissions." Instead, write, "the target system allowed anonymous SMB authentication, enabling unauthenticated access to shared directories. Initial access was obtained through a misconfigured service running as a privileged user." Precision shows understanding. Vagueness suggests guessing. In OCP, examiners expect you to demonstrate comprehension, not just command execution. If your explanation is shallow, your technical credibility weakens. Number 2. Logical flow of steps. A professional report should read like a controlled investigation. Each step must follow logically from the previous one. For example, port scan reveals open service, service version identified, version associated with known vulnerability, exploit selected and configured, shell obtained, privilege escalation performed. If you skip steps, you break the narrative. The examiner should never have to ask, "How did we get here?" Clarity builds trust. Number 3. Avoiding screenshot overload. While screenshots are essential, excessive or poorly organized screenshots reduce clarity. Common mistakes include including redundant screenshots, capturing partial windows, showing unrelated terminal history, and adding images without explanation. Each image must serve a purpose. Ask yourself, what does this image prove? If the answer is unclear, it should not be included. Screenshots should show full command and output, include context, hostname, user level, be cropped cleanly but not excessively. Discipline in visual evidence reflects professionalism. Number 4. Consistent formatting. Consistency improves readability. Maintain uniform formatting. Same heading structure, same font style, same screenshot alignment, clear spacing between sections. Inconsistent formatting signals rushed work. Professional reporting is not chaotic, it is controlled. Even in the OCP exam, formatting quality contributes to overall clarity. You want the examiner to focus on your technical reasoning, not struggle with your layout. Number 5. Separating facts from assumptions. Professional documentation distinguishes between facts and interpretations. For example, fact: port 445 was open and allowed anonymous authentication. Interpretation: this configuration increases risk of unauthorized file access. Make it clear what was observed and what is inferred. This shows analytical maturity. Number 6. Time management during reporting. In OCP, you do not have unlimited time to write. This is where preparation matters. If your notes are structured properly during exploitation, report writing becomes assembly, not reconstruction. Common time-wasting behaviors include rebuilding commands from memory, searching for missing screenshots, trying to recall sequence of steps, fixing formatting issues last minute. Structured documentation during the exam prevents this. Your workflow should be exploit, document immediately, move on, not exploit everything, panic later, write from memory. Professional testers document continuously. Number 7. Writing with reproducibility in mind. Imagine someone else must replicate your attack. Would they be able to? Ask, did I include all parameters? Did I explain environment assumptions? Did I mention required credentials? Did I clarify privilege escalation path clearly? If any step relies on hidden knowledge, your documentation is incomplete. Reproducibility is not optional. It is the foundation of technical credibility. Number 8. Professional tone matters. Avoid emotional language. Avoid dramatic phrasing. Avoid exaggeration. Instead of, "This was a massive vulnerability," write, "This vulnerability allows unauthorized access to sensitive data." Professional tone signals maturity. The goal is not to impress. The goal is to communicate clearly. Core principle of this unit. Technical skill earns shells. Documentation earns trust. And trust is what certifications and clients are built on.